everybody. Welcome to another installment of Reminiscing with Rod. Of course, talking about Roy Goodmanson here, one of the remaining pioneers of that wonderful thing we call Riverton music, which in a lot of ways has become really a fascination for thousands of people. And I say thousands because it's well documented by Roy, of course. But really, Riverton music is such an important part of the fabric of so many people's lives, and that's why we're doing this little program. And today we're going to talk about the very foundation of what is Riverton music. That, of course, was a family orchestra known as the Musical Mates. It goes back probably nearly 80 years now when you stop and think about it, from the early times when their father, Leah Johannesson, began teaching the violin to his two oldest sons, Johnny and Chris. And then eventually over the years, it became an orchestra with sisters Dorothy and Sella and Christine and brother Leah. And they really did become the foundation of this because they influenced so many people and inspired so many people about the value of what music meant to the community. And so today, the focus of our whole discussion is going to be about the Musical Mates, their early beginnings, and how they inspired generations of their family to also become lovers and purveyors of great music. And on that note, we have a very special guest who is a next generation member of that incredible Johannesson family. And I'm going to turn it over to Wes right now, who's going to introduce our guest for the day.
Well, we're really, really happy to have a good friend of ours, a good friend of Riverton music, Donnie B, as I like to call him, but Donald Benedictson. Now, for you that don't know, he is the son of Sulla Benedictson, who was for many, many years the drummer for the Musical Mates. Now, Donnie is a highly respected musician, music producer, and also a recording studio owner in, of all places, Rose Isle, Manitoba. So welcome, Donnie.
Thanks for having me. I'm just honored to be here, you guys.
That's fantastic. Just one little quick question here. Rose Isle, where exactly is that?
It's about 15 minutes due west of Carmen, Manitoba.
Okay.
Just at the base of the Pembina Valley Hills.
Okay, sounds like a wonderful place to, well, certainly a good place to be during all this COVID stuff, for sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Don, of course, being ever so humble, probably won't talk about the fact that he is a world-class musician and recognized kind of across the continent, I think, in the recording circles as well. So we've got a little bit of royalty here with us folks today, and we're going to certainly get a lot of insight. So Roy, we're going to turn it over to you for the first question of the day for Donald.
Okay. Hey, Donald, how old was your mother when she started playing the drums?
Oh, I think she was around 10 years old. She started actually on the lap guitar, the Hawaiian guitar. So she played the open tuning with the bar. And that's actually the first instrument that she played with the Mates. And then she moved over to the drums. I'm not actually sure how old she was. I know she was really, really young, as were all of them when they started playing.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me how old is your mother
now? 88 years young.
Wow. Well, then, and I'm 87. I went to school with her.
And you're both looking amazing.
Well, look, I sound exhausted.
Roy, you're always the best. You're always the best dressed person in any social situation, and I really want to I want that what do you call that? That tie that you're wearing there?
Bolo.
A bolo. Oh my goodness. And a shirt.
Well, I
think
some lady, she asked me, how much did that cost you? And I said, around the $10,000, and she took off.
So Roy, after the show, will you consider parting with that shirt and bolo and package it up and send it to Donald? A parting gift.
I can't promise it.
Okay.
There's so many people wanting it.
Moving along, Donald, I want to ask you, because we're going to talk so much about how this has filtered down through the generations. How was music in your household made to be very important to all your kids?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Every one of us studied piano, classical piano. There was music going on during the day all the time. My mom tells me that I was 18 months old, and I was changing records on the record player and putting everything from Mitch Miller and his band to Elvis Presley to whatever was hanging around the house that the girls had that I wanted to listen to. So I mean, it's been there from the first moment I can remember. I'm sure, Mom was playing while I was in her womb, so it's been there right from the very beginning.
Right on. And you have two sisters, three sisters?
Three
sisters.
Yeah.
And they all took piano, and did they play very much as well?
Oh yeah, they played. They still play. So yeah, Debbie, I think she got up to grade 9 classical, grade 2 theory. Alana, grade 8, grade 2 theory. I was the same. And Heather, I mean, she at least got to grade 8, I'm sure. But yeah, and they've spread it. All their kids play too. Play music or dance. So yeah, it's integral to the family.
I have a question for you, Donnie.
Okay.
Having taken the piano lessons when you were a kid, how has that helped you throughout your music career now?
Wow, it's a lot more important than I realized when I was complaining about practicing and taking lessons. Because I can read music, and so I can follow a lead sheet and follow a chart, and I can communicate with musicians who are far better than me, and at least be in their world. And yeah, I mean, it's the foundational instrument to learn, really.
Sure.
It's got the full range, and you can learn everything you need to know about music on a piano, on any instrument really, but a piano you can really dig in and create arrangements. And I'm using it a lot right now, and I'm writing music for a documentary right now, and I'm on the piano all the time.
Okay.
Plunking away.
No, I'm sure you're doing more than that.
Yeah. Well, not as a piano player. As a bass player, I can play, but as a piano player, I've regressed to plunking along.
I wish I could plunk like that. Roy?
Yeah. Well, how old were you when you first sat in with the musical mates? And where was it?
It was in the old wonderful Riverton Hall that I wish was still there to this day. I just loved that place.
Yeah.
And I sat in on the drums to give my mom a break. I think I was 17, something like that. And I remember sitting behind the drums and it started playing, and then Johnny looked back. He knew when Mom wasn't playing the drums.
Well, I guess.
So he looked back at me, and I kind of had that, oh, how's this gonna go? And he gave me a little smile and a wink, and then I just played and played and played for a long time, and in fact so long that all my cousins started feeding me beers beside the drum kit. So I won't name which cousins they were, but they know who they are. By the end of it, I was absolutely hammered.
Did you do a drum solo?
No.
Well, I got another one here. What's your favorite kind of music? What kind of music do you like best?
Wow. I love so many styles of music. I mean, music that has a great melody, any music that has a great melody and great lyrics, great story, I'm in on, and I remember there's certain tunes that stand out, as really big memories in my timeline, like early memories are Auntie Dorothy playing the piano and playing all these tunes from the 30s and 40s. And I just remember how that affected me, just how great it made me feel. And then I remember driving to Riverton when I was about, I'm not even sure, 2 or 3 years old, and Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire came on. And my imagination went wild with that song. It actually kind of scared me in a way, but made me love music even more, Then of course, I heard a lot of the Beatles going over to the Johnson house with Dick and Donnie and Bob and Sigrid. They were playing the Beatles all the time. And, Dick and I, we sang some Beatles tunes together, and, that's been a staple throughout my life. So, I mean, but there's so much great music.
Oh, yeah.
Marty Robbins, El Paso. I remember hearing that song for the first time, and it's still to this day I revisit that song, and it's just, wow, what an amazing singer, what a voice, what a story, The old Gene Autry, the old Roy Rogers, the old Western stuff, Hank Williams, Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton, Charlie Rich. There's thousands, What's your favorite song, Roy?
The Green Grass of Home.
Wow, that's a beauty.
How many times do you think you sang that song, Roy?
Thousands of times since.
And it gets better every time, buddy. Go ahead, Roy.
Who is your most famous person that you played with?
I guess it would depend on the genre of music. I played with Fred Penner for years. Fred's a good friend of mine. We still play. We played our last gig just before COVID hit at the old Playhouse, the old Walker, or the Britton Cummings now. And in the women's music field, I played with a legend named Farron, who's just an amazing songwriter. Just like, I would call her in the top 2 in the world as far as songwriters. It's just, she's amazing. She's up there with, Leonard Cohen, Bob Dylan, that kind of a songwriter. Connie Calder in the world of folk music. I mean, yeah, Connie's a great talent, incredible person, great vocalist, great player.
I'll ask you one more. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Who's your favorite country singer besides me?
That's a hard one. Oh boy. Oh, I love you, Roy. I'm telling you. Oh man. Oh, that's a hard one too, man. Oh jeez. like I say, Marty Robbins. It's more, not about the vocal, not about the singer, but the delivery and the connection. And I'd say there's a bunch, but yeah, Marty Robbins, Dolly Parton, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson. He's not a great singer, but he's just the best songwriter ever.
Well,
he's amazing.
Marty Robbins, he's my best singer too.
He is, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I like when he hits those high notes, and he's so good.
Oh yeah, just goes, and it goes right to your heart. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
I remember about hearing that El Paso for the first time. Just like he made me feel so deeply inside myself. It was that was the first time I'd ever really experienced that with music, going that deep. I want to mention another couple of songs here that, and it's Tumbling Tumbleweeds and Cool Water, and I want to mention them because those two songs are written by Bob Nolan, who's a Manitoban, and a lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, and those are legendary songs.
Oh.
So if there's anyone watching this who is writing songs, just keep writing them and get them out there, and you never know what can happen.
Oh, that's true.
Holy mackerel! I did not know that. Did you know that, Wes?
Yeah.
I knew he was Canadian. I didn't realize he was a Manitoban.
Yeah. I just found that out this last year.
Okay.
That's another Manitoba proud moment. Donald, you mentioned that you were 17 years old the first time you sat in with the mates. You were playing the drums, and I'm guessing by then your mind was already well into rock music that you were hearing on the radio at home. Yet, I know because I heard this. I heard the same thing from Dick. Sitting in with the mates was not, Jesus, I have to do this because it's the family. It was always a proud moment, and I think you shared that same feeling.
Oh, definitely. And the first time I actually sat in with them after I was a professional musician as a bass player, it was in Gimli at the outdoor pavilion, and it was the Old Timers Dance. And it was the first time that I ever played bass with my mom on the drums.
Nice.
And it was a real eye opener, because as soon as I sat down and played, it was just, wow, that is locked in. Her time is still unbelievable. Like now I know why Johnny recognized when she wasn't on the kit, because it was the easiest scenario for me to play. It was just, it's the family thing, I guess, too, right? The genetic thing, but it was so easy. It was like, it was just, I'll say just like butter, it was just so smooth, and I couldn't believe it. It was just like, wow. You just take it for granted. Yeah, my mom's played the drums ever since I can remember. Big deal, like, yeah, she plays a piano every day at home, and whenever visitors come over, Solo, would you play us a tune? And then she would, play for an hour, entertaining the company that was over. And then she dragged me on the organ. I was taking organ lessons, and we'd do duets and stuff. And I appreciate that now. And of course, when I was a teenager, I was like, oh God, do I have to do this again? Yeah. But now, it's just like those are moments that I absolutely cherish. It's just incredible, to have that experience in your life is amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Wes?
I was going to ask you, Don, what do you think the mate's greatest legacy is?
Good question.
I would say it's connection. It's bringing people together, bringing community together, the music legacy is obvious, but what music does is bring people together in community. And obviously in the times we're in now, you really recognize the importance of that. And when it's taken from you, man, it's a big adjustment. You know, you really, I find myself, it's like, okay, nose to the grindstone. I mean, I feel lucky that I've got some work to do to keep me focused on that, as opposed to all the noise that's out there and all the negativity and all, you know, I mean, the negativity and the noise is always out there from the media anyway, but right now it's insane. So thank goodness for families like, you know, our family. And there are many of them across the prairies, right, in many small communities. Even around where I live, there was I have their record. It's called the Altamont Orchestra, and it's hilarious. The photo they have on the back of their record, it's almost identical to one of the musical mates photos. I'll have to show it to you sometime. Maybe I'll take a shot of it and give it to you, Mark, so you can put it in there and show. It's just when I saw it, I just laughed. It's just wow, and that really made me realize, yeah, this is going on all over. You know, it's huge in the East Coast. Kitchen parties, you know, music is what brings people together. And I've often thought that, you know, with what's going on with the industry right now, it's really tough times financially for artists, you know, to really get by and make a living, you know. And I really thought maybe we should create a day where no one can listen to music, and then see what happens.
Realize how important it is, right?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
that's a great point. Roy, do you have anything else besides your charm, your wit?
No, I'm just saying, like, me and Sella were close in age, and went to school 75 years ago. And I don't know if I learned anything when I went to school. I was a little runt.
But probably a very well-behaved one.
Absolutely not.
Hey, Donald, you know what I'd like to ask you about right now is, I mean, you didn't grow up in Riverton technically, but you did. You visited there an awful lot. You bonded very closely with your cousins there. The first time I really got to know you, well, no, actually, the very first time I got to know you was at CJAY TV. I was there. I was there doing a commercial, and I was in the studio in the control room part, and of course the crew that was doing the commercial was in the main studio, and I heard somebody in that crew mention that that was Roddy, and I thinking, nobody in Winnipeg calls me Roddy. Who the hell is that? So I go walking in the studio, and it's Donnie Benedictson. So that was kind of the first, after having seen you around Dick's Place over the years, that was the first time. But the first time I was relating to when I first started talking about this was when you joined us for the first tribute show that we did in Riverton. And can you just maybe tell me a little bit about how it felt for you to be on the stage with so many of your cousins and putting on a show in memory of some of the greats, including your aunts and uncles?
Wow, that was just so much fun. I guess, you know, the best word is just, you know, I felt so proud, you know, just to be able to be there, and thankful that, you know, you guys included me and brought me in. And yeah, it was just, those kinds of things they stay with you and they fill you up, and you can always go revisit them if you're having a dark moment, and you've always got that in your memory cache to go back and go, wow. And the fact that it's actually documented on video, so we can all go and see it and revisit some of those moments. And because after it happened, it was so fast, because I got in on the Friday night, and sound check, went over the tunes, boom, next day we were doing the show. And then of course, it wasn't just Friday night go to bed, it was Friday night go to Dick's and talk till 5 or 6 in the morning, and
just talk though.
Yeah, just talking. That's thankfully. Yeah, but that it actually made the next day, when I was doing a lot more sessions and stuff and playing at night, I was living with a really good buddy of mine. We were in the same band at the time, and sometimes we would party all night long and maybe get an hour or two sleep, and then we go to the session, being real naughty guys, and we get into the studio, and it would be incredible. We'd usually first takes, second takes at most. It would just flow out of you, just because we had fried our brains the night before and we couldn't think. So I think that's kind of what happened on that Saturday show. Yeah, I'm telling you, we had so many laughs. I mean, that's what's so great about hanging out with all you guys. It's just, there's so much great wit, and there's so much great banter, and the vibe is always positive and fun, and there's always the odd practical joke going on. There's yeah, that's, what can I say? I just loved it.
And gotta keep that humor going.
Oh man, exactly. It's what keeps us alive, isn't it?
Yep.